bought this in Lafayette, Louisiana, after seeing some videos on a good, affordable kayak that you could stand up and fish in. Had a good deck. Uh, at the time I had a cheap kayak and I wanted to get something a little better, and this is what I'd settled on. It was between this and a few others, and I was going to get a NuCanoe Frontier, but that fell through. Who I was going to get it from. But anyway, I wouldn't say I rushed into getting this, but I wanted me a decent kayak. I wanted to start fishing, and you know, you will eventually upgrade your kayak. There's no doubt about it. You're gonna get a nice one, and you're gonna get a much nicer one. And once you really know what you want, that'll probably be, I'm not gonna say your last kayak, but the one that you'll use for quite a while. And that next kayak for me is going to be the Jackson Coosa FD. I want the pedal drive, flex drive system. I love the kayak. I think that's what I've settled on. There's been quite a few that I've looked at, but I keep coming to that kayak. But anyway, I wanted to go over the modifications that I did to this kayak here, because this turned out to be a pretty nice kayak. Let's start with the front, work my way to the back of the boat. Alright, as always, you gotta have the red flag hanging out. Well, I guess it depends on your state. With this state, Louisiana, you gotta have the red flag hanging if you're hanging it out of the back of your pickup truck like me. Okay, I do have it registered in the state of Louisiana because it has a trolling motor on it. Inside my hatch is where I keep my battery for my depth finder. I don't have it in here right now, but what I did was I cut a crate, the bottom of a crate, just to store, like, this is my dry box. It has my registration for my trolling motor, but I cut the bottom of a crate, and that's where my dry box goes with my battery in it. That's where my cables are on the inside. Okay, anyway, I just wedge it in there like that. This is my connections for my depth finder. Right here is my camera mount. It's just a Scotty, came with the Scotty rod, I believe, rod holder. And I have my camera mount for my front camera right here. It is a new camera. It's a Hero Session that I'm using. I really dig it. Okay. I'm using a Garmin fish finder. It was fairly cheap at Bass Pro Shop. I think I paid like $109, something like that. Let me go back to the front. My wife bought me a feel-free stand-up assist bar. Today was the first time for me to use it, and man, I really dig it. It's a lot of fun to be able to stand up and in your kayak and lean up against that and just fish. I had to make it work on this kayak. This kayak, the Shadowcasters, is essentially a lure, like a lure 11.5. It's pretty much almost the same kayak. Yeah, some of the specs are a little different, but they're both made by Joy Sports, so you can see the similarity. It just doesn't come with the fancy seat, and I'm sure there's some other areas that they cut back in. I have a transducer mount. It's a Scotty transducer mount, and I had to modify that. I tried the in-hole transducer mount inside, and that didn't work out too good for me. The tracks here, the hardware that came with the feel-free stand-up bar didn't work, so I had to get some mighty bolts. And then I got these 1/4 knobs over at Lowe's. And that's my rod holders. Right there, I keep my paddle there. I'm using a Bending Branches. It's a $100 paddle. It's not super expensive, but it's not a super cheap one either. Okay, I made my own cup holder And then I have a Yak Attack. Yes, a Yak Attack cup holder. Anyway, I use this one right here just to throw baits in. Okay. I moved my pedals up because they were way up there and I'm not a very tall person. So I made the modifications by moving them back. So that way I can reach them. And also I can steer my trolling motor with it. And I just used Weed Eater string to do it. Alright. I used at first this anchor on a dog leash. And I used a Bruce anchor. Or I use a Bruce anchor. I have a lever lock by Yak Attack trolley on here. Works pretty good. I have a Railblazer rear camera, and I have my Hero Session and the other two cameras that I have. My son calls them No Pros instead of GoPros. They're cheap Amazon cameras. They're actually Soku, however you say that. This is my battery box that I modified and put like a quick connection for it. And then this is just a $19 ice chest that I got at Academy. And then I put some rod holders on there. Okay. It takes us to the back. Newport Vessels trolling motor. It's a 36-pound thrust. The wife got us a couple of them off of Amazon. And this took me a while to do these modifications. Be prepared if you're going to do any modifications on your kayak that it's going to take some time. And you're going to find yourself going back and forth to Lowe's and Academy and wherever to buy stuff to do it. But for me it's fun, but it does take time. And what it does is, hold up, I gotta adjust my pedals, they're tight right now. I was going to show you how it steers. So one cable turns it that way and the other one turns it. I attached a lawnmower pull string right here. Okay. That pulls it so you can jack it up whenever you come to shore. I made this mounting plate and it's been a lot of trial and error. I'd say it's still a work in progress, to tell you the truth. But I'm trying to get a real smooth operation. I'm not totally satisfied yet with the operation. I ended up using my hands to steer it. I just pull on the strings, on the cables. And what's happening is these are sticking, these pedals. So I'm going to have to grease them and see if that works out better. I chopped the trolling motor. You'll see other videos on YouTube pretty much explaining how they did it. But you know, if you're going to do it yourself, you need to have the know-how, a little bit of knowledge on electrical to do it. You can look it up on YouTube. You can figure it out if you have any kind of electrical, mechanical ability. But what I did was I took a rod holder and I chopped it to hold it in there. And this has a voltmeter on it. That's why I went ahead and kept the head. I like it being right there. It looks pretty cool to me. And I dressed it up. Runs all the way back. I have pad eyes. Come through here. And go all the way here. My stakeout pole. I talked about it when I was fishing earlier. I don't know if it'll make the final cut of the video. My stakeout pole. You can buy these at Lowe's or Home Depot. All it is for like your tomato plants. It's a stake. And it's fairly strong. It'll do the trick. And what I did was I put a 1/2-inch T on there out of the plumbing section. I glued it. I went ahead and wrapped it just to make sure. And I put some end caps on it. I drilled a hole. I put some paracord, carabiner to tie off to. I can tie off to my anchor trolley, or I can stick it right through my anchor trolley. I got some new fish grips. I wanted to show you handy. That's I think it's called Backwater Paddle Company. You can get them, yes, Backwater Paddle, Backwater. You can get them off of Amazon. You can buy them in your kayak. You know, kayak retailers, a lot of them sell them also. They're around $30, $28 to $30. They come in handy. This seat is in a low position, or that's the high position. I prefer to stay in the high position. And the neighbor is cutting the grass, which I need to do also. Well, I hope you enjoy my videos, and if you have any questions, just ask, and I'll try to answer the best that I can. It's Tim Rats Kayaking.